Hello everyone, my name's Ethonra, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. So I got about 30 seconds. Right. Got about 30 seconds. So first off, I apologize for the last stream that I did. Everything that could go wrong did go wrong. I was already in a bad mood and it just snowballed. That's all I'm going to say about that. Second is, in order to save you all some time, I decided to just start here. And third, even though I'm in first person, sorry to disappoint you, still my Lalafell. That's probably the closest thing to a joke I'm going to do this stream. Well, that's not true. I have some in mind. So, yeah, the objective of this stream is I plan to do all of this again and try to do it flawlessly. Now, unfortunately, I should have done this much earlier because my original plan was to... Let me back up. So after the first stream that I did, the cataclysmic one, I left and spent some time at my mom's place with my stepdad and our dog Kibbles, who I'm going to talk about a little bit this stream, and it really helped. I think we have way too much up top. Yeah, that looks like it's way too much. No, I don't think so. So that helped me mellow out a bit. And I was so hyped to get back to stream. And the hype has worn off, but not to the point where I'm not motivated anymore. So yeah, we probably won't do my idea because it's 9:19 p.m. And these take a long time to get going anyway, because first you have to wait for them, then the queue, then hope you don't get fire earth, you know. So probably won't do that, but I am going to try to be as perfect as I can be, because I shouldn't be dying to this. I even made it a point to use my these, I forgot what they're officially called. So hopefully things will go better. I actually do have some things I want to talk about, things I completely forgot because I was so angry last time. I don't like getting very emotional in my streams, especially like that. Well, wait, time to focus. So probably won't talk too much until there's like downtime. I guess there's one thing I can mention real quick, just so I don't forget, because this one isn't as fresh in my mind as talking about Kibbles. So a friend, well, two friends of mine really, brought it to my attention that Final Fantasy XIV's Endwalker has been delayed. I've said this in the past on some streams somewhere, I'm sure, but personally I don't mind when things get delayed as long as the reason is justifiable and not a morally bankrupt reason. I really don't mind, because I've seen how bad it can be if streams, I guess that too, if I'm anything to go by, if games are rushed out. And I'm lagging. That is not good. I'm lagging. That is not good. I hope it wears off. It's not going to wear off, is it? Okay, nice try, game. Nice try. But as aggravating as this is, it's not enough to put me in a bad mood. We'll just wait for me to die, I guess. I won't count it because obviously it's beyond my control. That's the only hiccup I get tonight. I can live with that. Still annoying, but no, I'm not going to rage about it. I am not going to rage about it. Though I do want to add, I love how last time I was playing this, everything going wrong could go wrong. I don't think I lagged at all. And look at that, I even managed to get the aggro while lagging. Excuse me. I even managed to get the aggro while lagging. That's kind of impressive. That's something else I want to apologize for. I didn't think it'd be this big of an issue, but I think my allergies are acting up. I'm not coming down with a cold. I almost never get sick. My immune system is pretty good. but my allergies are pretty bad, you know, the trade-off. So if you hear my voice sounds even weirder than it normally does, or I'm sniffling like I am now, or sneezing, what have you, sorry, genuinely. But as I was saying, two friends of mine brought to my attention that the game has been delayed, and I believe that's a trick. And I'm okay with that because I call it the Sonic 06 syndrome. When games are rushed and they come out like Sonic 06. Those who don't know what Sonic 06 is, I highly advise you go look it up because it's genuinely funny. I actually did like the game despite all its bugs because it was a so bad it's good kind of game. Like, the bugs seriously made that game funny. I've told this story before, but since I need to kill time, I don't mind telling it again. Where I remember to this day, I went to GameStop with my father, and I know, being a Sonic fan, I was like, hey, I want to play Sonic 06. I love Sonic, why not? And when I went to go purchase it, the cashier genuinely tried to talk me out of getting the game. He was telling me how bad the bugs were and all that stuff. And I remember the number one thing he told me was how it, oh, feel a sneeze coming on. Hold on. Great. Excuse me. One of the things I remember him telling me the most was how Sonic, the bugs made Sonic run so fast that he would actually clip through the environment, like he'll run through a mountain. I thought that was hilarious. I believed him, but I still wanted the game because I like Sonic and I wanted to see it for myself. It might have been a mistake. Should have held on to that for Electric Anvil because I know it's coming. At least this gives me time to heal. So yeah, I said all that to say, with Final Fantasy 15, though we didn't get the one we were promised, Kingdom Hearts 3, though again, didn't live up to the hype because no critical mode, no data organization, no significant secret boss, blah 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 blah. For Final Fantasy 14, I'm totally okay with it being delayed. My only concern was what happens to those who pre-ordered the game, and because I don't remember what the official release date was. So what happens to those who officially or pre-ordered the game? Do we just lose our early access bonus or what? Thankfully that's not the case. Since the delay pushed everything back, it pushed that back as well. So people who pre-ordered, yeah, obviously, people who pre-ordered still get to play it early. So that was my only real concern. And from what I read, it seems like they said as much themselves, that they just want to make sure the game is as perfect as it can be. So again, by all means, I do not mind delays at all. I can understand when people get so hyped, because we were less than, like, what, 2 weeks away? Like 13 days, 12 days? So I completely understand the hype as to why... Sorry, not the hype as to why, but... Excuse me. The reason why people would be upset for delays because of the hype. I understand that. But again, to me, it makes more rational sense to let them polish off all the bugs than to deliver a broken product that you are continually to pay for every month, in addition to the add-ons, cosmetics, potions, what have you. So no, take your time. Get it right the first time. All I ask in return is that, I'm losing my train of thought. No, I guess that's pretty much it then, yeah. I just want the game to be as perfect as it can be. Oh, I remember what I was about to say. This is totally unrelated to the delays, but it is related to Endwalker. Something I've been dreading since Heaven's Ward. And thankfully, I've been managing to work around it bit by bit, but Endwalker seems like I just have to accept it. But as I pointed out before, I like to keep my hotbars to just 2. That way I can flip-flop between them really fast, and even then, I'm 100% certain on stream, somewhere, if not in videos I've recorded and uploaded, somewhere I know it's happened, because it still happens to this day, where I'll click the wrong thing because I think my hotbar is 1 when it's actually 2, or I think it's 2 when it's actually 1. Endwalker, even though I really didn't want it, is going to give us new skills. Those new skills are going to take up slots, meaning I'm going to have to get 3 hotbars as opposed to 2, meaning the odds of me messing up are higher now. Now, I've also said this many times, but since I'm the only one who cares and I'm a nobody, Yoshi P and friends definitely ain't going to listen to me, but I would love if they had made PvE controls in PvE, you know, my Keen Edge, Brutal Shell, Solid Barrel all on one button, like in PvE, PvP, because that would save up a lot of space, and it would just make the game literally easier. You don't have to worry about getting carpal tunnel, having to do, I can't really do it right now, but you know, just pressing like 12 different buttons at the same time. Yep, I think I was in that. Yeah, I was. Oh. But as with most Endwalker content, I've gone on my way to not look it up because I'd rather be surprised. Like, I haven't even heard the music. My friend Nick brought that up about, you know, can't wait to hear the music. I told him, I don't know. I wouldn't know. I went out of my way to avoid it because, let me ask you this. I know some of you don't care. Like my stepdad, he does not care about spoilers. I don't know how a human being can even be like that, but he doesn't care about spoilers. You could tell him exactly how the movie goes down, and he will still want to see it. I find that very interesting. I don't like spoilers because it defeats the point for me. Like, what's a game that I recently spoiled on accident that I don't care to get anymore? I can't think of it now. I think it's a game that recently came out, but I cannot remember what it is. Oh, I remember. Resident Evil 8 was spoiled for me on accident. I was watching someone review it, and the review was nice. Well, that's half true. It was decent, but he said something that I don't disagree with because it doesn't make sense, and I'll get into that in a second. But he spoiled what happens at the end of the game when he didn't even have to. I was expecting a review of being like, Resident Evil 8, the main plot is this. That's not a spoiler to me. That's just telling me what happens. A spoiler is the ultimate fate of your character, or the twist, or the secret reason why so-and-so is so-and-so. Those are spoilers. Saying, hey, the plot of Resident Evil 8 is Ethan trying to rescue his daughter. Okay. I don't see that as a spoiler at all. That's the wrong one. And so is that. So yeah, he spoiled what happened at the end, and that completely killed me wanting to get it. And I said, well, maybe I'll get it because the game looks fun. And truthfully, it does, but having the story ruined for me does admittedly take some of the enjoyment out. But in addition to that, he also mentioned how Ethan's character was, like, insufferable. I mean, he basically said it like Ethan was just spitting one-liners out throughout the entire game, and while that is somewhat true, it's not to the extent that he made it out to be. He made it sound like Ethan Winters was like Dead Rising 4's Hank East, played by Frank West, that guy. And now that one is insufferable. He really is. Calling him a jerk is putting it mildly. I know normally I stick around. Oh, I wasn't paying attention. I guess we rescued everybody. So I'm gonna go ahead and head back now. But yeah, he made it sound like Ethan Winters became some insufferable dickhead, but that's not true at all. He does say the occasional cringy line, but some of them I feel are quite appropriate when you take into account everything going on. Case in point, I'm not going to spoil it because the only thing I hate more than being spoilers is being a hypocrite. But Ethan Winters does drop this one-liner. He says, let me try to remember how it goes. Oh, I think the line went something like, "You're the one who's cursed." For those of you who play the game, you know who I'm talking about. That is actually a good one-liner, considering, again, everything going on. And it's not like a Uno reverse card, no you kind of one-liner. Oh, no wonder I can't. Didn't notice I didn't have that on. Oh well, I'll let them have it. That's my fault. But yeah, he does say a few things that I feel are a bit cringy. Another good one is, I think, in death as he was in life, disgusting. Again, that's also a good one-liner because of the context of what's going on. That's totally fine. But there are definitely some things that Ethan says that make you go like, you didn't have to say anything. It was kind of like the developers felt Ethan should say something there, even though realistically he really didn't have to. That's the only times I do feel it's a bit weird, but Ethan Winters compared to Dead Rising 4's Frank West is unfair. He's nothing like that, so I don't know why the guy was giving Ethan such a hard time. So yeah, don't care for spoilers, and I said all of that to say that's how I feel about Endwalker. I made it a point to avoid as much as possible. The only thing I really know is that there's going to be a Reaper class and a Sage class. The Warrior of Light is taking up one of my favorite tanks, the Paladin, and apparently there's going to be some shenanigans going on with the Moon. That's pretty much all I get from Endwalker. Let's see, let me try to make sure I haven't lost more of my train of thought. So let's see, covered the delay. Oh, I guess I should talk, no, I think I covered that. The, how I feel that they should make this more like PvP combat with the triple skills on one button. Pretty much covered that. So yeah, I guess I'm all caught up. The only thing else I feel like talking about is probably kibbles, and that's definitely something I need to talk about after this fight. I'm going to leave my take stance on. I'm feeling kind of confident right now. And yeah, I can even hear it myself. My voice definitely sounds different because of my allergies. I guess that's okay. My allergies has ruined far, far worse than the stream before. Far, far worse, so this is nothing. I don't remember if he used ice last time, but for ice you just want to jump around and keep moving like a headless chicken. I think it's better to jump because, I guess depending on lag, I have moved like this before legitimately, and I've still been frozen, like against XIV and things like that. So I make it a point to jump because, as far as I know, the game still does acknowledge you are in midair, which is obviously movement, so I think you're safest when you're jumping. So I make it a point to try to jump instead. I know he's done lightning before. I remember him doing that. As you're wondering why I haven't done my little Red Wolf's Ren combo, is because I like to hold off until I know what all he's going to do. Because the last thing I want to happen is for me to do that and he does something like Pyretic. Or Earth. You know, there we go, Fire Earth. Wasn't even trying to say it that time. But I think we're good. I didn't see Earth at all. I didn't even see Fire, actually, but I'm sure he'll put it in there. Yeah, Water, Ice. So just keep moving. And that's another reason why I didn't do it, because if I did, I would have got pushed away before I could finish my combo. This is actually also probably a bad time, but I got a few seconds before the tornado starts moving. Oh, that's a bad spot. Hopefully we have enough people up that can get meteors. Hey, good, good. Oh. Okay, so with this one, you want to stand right about here and let it push you out of the middle because of lightning. And I can't tell what the other one was. All I can do is hope it's, yeah, hope it's ice. Of course, that thing has a bigger AoE than it looks, obviously. I would have got farther away if I knew the other one was ice, but I wasn't sure if he had summoned another water or something. Try to get away from these tornadoes so it doesn't paralysis me right while I'm beside one. That was close. I was about to use Super Bolide there. Kind of amazing how big of a difference there is when you don't have fire or earth, huh? Now you know why I dread that move so much. Let's see, ice, lightning, and water, so that's fine. And the other one, yeah, should be ice, as I can see from right here, so... Man, that's massive. I was trying to be careful not to jump into the rain as well as not jump into the lightning AoE. Because once you decide where you're jumping, you have no control of that momentum. If he was at like literally 1%, I actually would burn him down, but no, not like this. I always prioritize the mechanics because not saying I'm a pro at this game, but I have been here fairly long. Oh, as I said, I was about to get hit by this obvious attack. Nope, made it thanks to sprint. Anyway, been here pretty long, so and I can tell. I can't even begin to tell you how many times my party, alliance, what have you, has wiped because they've ignored mechanics, because they tried to burn the boss when it had too much health. And look at that, we got all the chests this time. It's like things are looking up. But then, the opposite happens. Ah, that's why. Well, let me see what I need to throw away. Pagos stuff? Oh, probably from the chest or something. I haven't been in Pagos in a long time. Something I did kind of forget to mention is also, probably tell by my guild down there, I have over 10 million. I think this is the first time I've had that much. Back in the day, I did have a no, probably not. I think a friend of mine actually gave me 10 million before to help me, well, somewhere around there at least, to help me buy a small house. But this is at least the first time I was able to get 10 million completely on my own. So, can at least take some pride in that. Probably should have waited for this first, because, yeah, I'll just have to eat it. Alright, good. They were kind enough to give me invincibility. I don't know if that's a new thing or not, but I want to say that wasn't always the case. I can very clearly remember some times where if you get locked out and spawn in, you don't get that, so. But yeah, that would have been my fault anyway, because I saw that move, I knew what it was, I should have waited. But thankfully they did give me invincibility. Also, I do apologize if I, like, ramble more than I usually do or something. I meant to eat before my stream, but... Hold on, I gotta concentrate. Of course. Gotta say, that second cross attack had hit me, I would have been a bit livid. This would be like right here-ish. Oh, yep, I was right the first time. Couldn't see. When I saw him move the boss, I thought that meant I was wrong. But no, I was right the first time. More or less. So what else was I going to talk about? I know there's Kibbles, don't worry, I didn't forget him. I probably won't do it tonight. Well, maybe I will, because I think I can, actually. But I do have videos on him. We've had him for, I don't know, 6 months, 7 months, something like that. We've had him for a bit. I'm not sure if there's actually, let me look. Yeah, I'm not sure if there's actually a party for this. I see a lot of tanks going up there. Excuse me, so I'll stay down here. Mostly to deal with creatures like this. When I am down here, I prefer to go for the corals because they have 2 wide AoEs, so I grab them and kind of turn them this way. So that AoE doesn't hit, and then the one I believe immediately afterwards, yeah, doesn't hit. So they're kind of just mostly attacking me. The demons, I don't remember if they can be aggroed or not. It doesn't really matter, because, well, I guess it does matter, but I mean it doesn't matter in the sense that they're not that big of a threat as long as you watch their AoEs. So I'm just going to wait here for the next one to spawn. There he is. Try to turn him a little this way so the tank doesn't get hit. Cool, they won. Alright, the rest of the fight's pretty much in the bag. Oh, right, I was saying, we've had Kibbles for 6, 7, maybe 8 months, I don't really remember. And if I had known the type of dog he would be, I would have named him Alligator, because he loves to bite. He is a very bitey dog. That's how he plays, though. He doesn't try to draw blood or anything. It's just he loves to bite. Let's see. Not sure why Lion wants to fight me, but whatever. I actually do know why. It was just a bad joke. I know exactly why. Ah, couldn't see it. Okay, fine. Whatever. Of course you would try to land on me, you great bastard. Hence why you see, like I said last time, this is exactly why I carry Lost Cure. Exact reason why. Also, is it me or is the vulnerability up shorter now? Is it for this particular fight? Or is that some kind of nerf slash buff they gave to that debuff? And I say that because obviously it's a nerf to it, but it's a buff to us. Having its time lowered. But yeah, normally it lasts for sometimes over a minute. It'll say a minute, but it's actually not. So what's this, 2 and 4? Yeah. I was about to use my dots on him, but he's just going to jump away. I thought I was in the right spot. Oh well. Like I said, this is more or less how the runs usually go. I might mess up a few times, but nothing really cataclysmic. For the ones that aren't down to luck. I don't know why I'm messing up this mechanic so much. Usually, actually, I think I do know why. Let me try to test something. Okay. So I was going to say, I actually saw I was wrong there right before they blew. The reason why I kept messing up before is because I couldn't see where the other ones would land. So I said, let me try something. Let me just see if they turn invisible. So I wasn't even trying to do the mechanic right. I just wanted to see. So of course, when I can see them, I got it wrong. But it's okay. My luck is typically like that. I'm not going to let it get to me. I already promised I wouldn't. Not going to let it get me this time. Oh, there is something else I want to talk about. Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Been having some fun with those. Let's see. So that must mean 4. This could be bad. Yep. I just want to say, that's what happened. I pressed the wrong button. I pressed Nebula. I meant to press Super Bolide. Because I knew I was going to get hit. I knew that. It just wasn't smart, I guess. I'll just take the res on that. Or revive. I don't deserve those medals. I should not have died there. That just shows how... I don't know, man. Not gonna let it get to me, but I don't understand why I'm playing so bad. These are my loadouts. I know more or less exactly where everything is. I put Super Bolide over here, right under the limit break, for that exact reason, and I still hit Nebula. I don't know. Whatever, we're moving on. I guess I'll do it in the next one. That way, in case it pops, I won't miss it. Let's see if I can do better in Xander and not just get laid out by Diablos. Oh, like I said, something else I'm going to start doing is using these because I don't want to die. That being said, I'd rather save this one for big emergencies, so I guess I'll use this one. I do plan to stay here until, that was probably a stupid thing to do, but I'll just live with it. Okay, good. So it's not up. Even if it was up, I would have just been like, you know, that sucks, I'll just have to wait. But since it's not up, hopefully it didn't end recently. Hopefully. So the wait shouldn't be too terrible. And I'll get into what I was saying earlier in just a moment. Oh, cool. Got another one. Oh, phone about to die. Can't have that. Okay, good. Like I said, I love getting the bloodsuckers and the, I think the other one's called Beast for DPS. That's going to come real handy when I come here with Reaper. Okay, so let me read this real quick. I had left some comments on some videos. I'm just seeing what other people have said. Okay. Pretty civil YouTube comments, much to my own surprise, but happy to hear that. There was just some comment I left on a Xenoverse 2 video, and some people actually agreed with me. So yeah, Kibbles. He is not even a year old. I want to say he's around 6 months. So that would make him, what, 6 times 7? I'm actually going to do that. I want to show you right now how bad I am at math. 6 times 7. I know you college graduates know it immediately. Let me try. Oh, well, that's cool. So, again, right now, 6 times 7. That can't be right. I got the answer to the universe, 42. That can't be right. Let me try again. No, I got 42 again. I guess 42 is still a puppy in dog years. And if not, he definitely acts like a puppy. Like, he is so hyperactive. It's not even funny. Well, it's a little funny because it's adorable. But it's like, he's also really clingy. I've never known a dog to be as clingy as this dog, but I'll get to that in a second. So, with Kibbles, I guess I should start there. Yeah, he's so hyperactive. He seems to never run out of energy, ever. Even when he's sleeping. Case in point, he loves to play, he loves to bite, he will chew apart anything. My stepdad and mom even have a little saying that if it hits the floor, it's his, because he'll turn it into a toy. Even if he makes a mistake on the floor and you try to clean it up with a paper towel, he will attack the paper towel because in his mind you're trying to play. You see what I'm saying? Clothes hangers, he chews on the plastic clothes hangers, even snap one in half from chewing on it so much. Cardboard, boxes, just whatever. Anything, he'll chew anything. He used to try to go after your toes, but my stepdad mostly and my mom laid down the law about that, so he doesn't do that anymore, but he will still go for your fingers. What else? Oh, right, I was saying he has so much energy even when he's sleeping, even when he is snoring. He snores when he sleeps. He is a light sleeper, so he'll wake up immediately if something wakes him up, if it's loud enough. It doesn't even have to really be that loud. If you're laying on the bed and he is sleeping and you move, it'll probably wake him up, let alone if you actually get out of the bed. But yeah, like I said, he's a clingy dog, so he likes to play, but he's more than capable of playing with his chew toys by himself. But he's clingy in the sense that he still wants you to be there. I can't tell you how many times where if I'm watching him, usually when I'm over there house sitting for my folks, even if I'm not playing with him with the stuff, he will chew on the stuffed toy bears and squeaky toys and clothes hangers and whatever. All he wants really, besides for me actually playing with him, would be to just be in the room. Because if he's playing with something and I leave that room, he will stop what he's doing and follow me to wherever it is I'm going. Whether that's my room in the guest... Well, it's not my room, it's the guest room, but I stay there, so guest room. Or the bathroom, he'll try to follow me in there. It's like, even if you're not interacting with him, he still wants you there. That's how clingy he is. And if I'm trying to go to bed, he's more than capable of sleeping in his own dog bed. He typically doesn't do that. He'll try to jump up on the bed where I'm at, and sometimes he'll whine for you to pick him up, but if you try to pick him up, he'll run away like he's trying to play. So, really awkward. So I just let him jump up there by himself, which he can, but sometimes he still whines because he wants you to pick him up. Or some of the toys he has, there's a little step, like literally just a step from the the living room to the hallway. And sometimes, depending on what toy he has, like if it's a really big one, like a bear, he'll drop the toy on the bottom step, go up the top step, and then whine about it because he doesn't know how to get the toy up there because he just can't. If it's small enough, he'll just jump up there with it in his mouth. But yeah, he's really clingy, real affectionate, very playful, will always try to lick you in the face if he gets the chance, don't let him. If you're sitting in the sofa, he will jump on your lap and then immediately try to lick you in the face. Or if you try to pet him, he'll try to bite your fingers. Like I said, he's a real fun dog. I like him a lot. But yeah, if I knew he'd be like that, I would have named him Crocodile. Sounds much cooler than Kibbles, and it'd be much more appropriate. By the way, I named him Kibbles. My mom was originally planning to get a Yorkie, you know, with the mustaches, the best dogs ever, because they're tiny dogs with big mustaches. How could you not like that? So my idea was to name him Sir Kibbles. You know, you get it? But she got that Kibbles, I can't remember where she said she got him from. I don't know if it was from a friend or it was happenstance, but got him when he was still a puppy, and unfortunately he was taken away too soon, because even now, to this day, one of the bears he has, he's chewed the crap out of it. Like, the eyes are gone, the nose is, the button, I don't know if it had a button nose or not, but if it did, it's definitely gone. But he will try to suckle on the nose. He still does that, so that tells us he's been gone. I mean, he was taken too soon. He has, yeah, I'm obviously not doing that, I just wanted to see what it was. He has hit puberty, though. For those of you who can guess what that possibly means, that has happened. Thankfully, he hasn't tried to do any of that to us, but he will do it to that toy that he suckles on, which is strange for many reasons, even for dogs. But yeah, I'll try, and I do mean try, because it's already getting kind of late, and I still need to run one more raid. But I will try to remember to upload a video of Kibbles before the night is done. Obviously, if I forget or fall asleep or just get too lazy, I will do it tomorrow for sure. Well, you know, like afternoon kind of tomorrow, not 12 o'clock in the morning tomorrow, because at this rate, that's how long it's going to be before I finish. I'm just going to keep this open to see if anyone claims to go up top. I think that's everyone. Oh, no, yeah, I think that's everyone. Sometimes you have to, you've probably noticed it, I'll have to tilt the camera in awkward angles in order to see everybody, because sometimes it doesn't work. Like, if I bring it down here, I'm pressing the buttons right now, it doesn't move. But when I do this, it does, so. Hopefully I didn't take anyone's bike, but I didn't see anyone said, hey, I have a party of 8 or whatever it is. I think it's 8 coming up top, so yeah, it should be fine. Look at all the Lalafels. I'm not in a party, and these people clearly are, so I'll let them tank. I'll just make sure, you know, once the ads spawn, to get it myself. Or, not get it myself, I meant get one of the random ads and pull him to a corner so he doesn't bother anybody. Because if you kill all the ads, then they just respawn. So what you want to do is kill all but one. I will get that one. That's what I'll see. Let's see, you got it, you got it. You do not. You got it, you got it, you got it. You do not. Okay, I think they're all good now. Also, I'm pretty sure I've said this in the past, but in the off chance I didn't, I do apologize when you hear me clicking the button really fast and it's making that bup noise. Trust me, it gets on my nerves too. It's just, one, I'm talking, so it's kind of zoned out, or tuned out for me. Two, I have my headphones on, so again, tuned out. But for the most part, all the other sound effects and music and whatnot drowns it out. But every once in a while, when I'm really pressing it, I do hear the and that does get annoying. Oh man, that sucks. I say that was a really nasty combination. I'm genuinely surprised he didn't try to fire it there. That is absolutely something I would not put past these bosses. I hate when they always do that. I don't know why I have to get so close. I know his hitbox is, yeah, going to get bigger than that. And I'm pretty sure his normal one wasn't that small either. But I wasn't paying that much attention, so who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. There you go. A little reprisal. I'll put this on just so I don't forget when the ads show up. Oh, that's kind of nasty. I'm gonna go down this way. Feel sorry for that guy too, because I genuinely forgot that happens. I was gonna heal them up, but they took care of it. But yeah, I did forget that the X's, or whatever it was, does actually leave behind a big circle AoE. Reverse time eruption. Thankfully we didn't have to deal with it. I guess the Black Mage decided to do his own thing too. I don't know why he's not running up in there, but whatever. Oh, might as well do this, so there's no misunderstandings. When you heal more than they can damage you. Guess I'll bring him right here. There's no reason to put him in the corner like that. Yeah, that compared to how long it can be, that was pretty good. I don't think we made it though. That was definitely longer than 15 seconds. I heard that's what the time limit is. Not sure how true it is, but I do know the window's pretty tight, so if it is 15 seconds, we definitely didn't make it. Yeah. There's only 2 chests. That's totally fine though. To me, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, it's nice to be like, hey, yeah, we did it, but ultimately, I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think there's anything significant, or not significant, but more like special in the 3rd chest, like, oh, there's a minion or a mount. I don't believe that's the case. It's only extra coins or some kind of currency. Which, how often you'll need to grind this place will seem like nothing in the long run. Oh. There's no point in doing that because once they, you know what, let me just stop it now so I can get that charge back. Because once they fire off their limit breaks, this thing dies instantly. That was awfully nice. I wish I knew who did that. Let's see, the tank is definitely not going to be the ninja. It's not you either. Oh, I guess I'll see you in a second. You know, despite how I was last stream, I do prefer being the good guy than the bad guy. Yet and still, if you are not the tank and you do that, I will let you get nommed on. I've said it before, I've shown it before, and that's still true. I just thought I'd mention it since we just saw it happen right before our eyes, because that's something that people have started doing, not somewhat lately, it's been going on for a while, but they used to not do that. I don't know what's changed. I mean, true, he's not that difficult of a boss at all, as long as you pay attention. And yeah, I know that's like a no shit kind of statement, like, yeah, all bosses are like that. But I mean, no, seriously, specifically, this guy's not that bad. You just need to really watch out for Fleshy Necromass. I don't know why I'm going over this again, but I guess it gives me something to talk about. I forgot the name of his tank buster. Might of Malice, I think is what it's called. Obviously, you don't need to worry about that unless you're the tank, because it does hit surprisingly hard. And if you have like 3 vulnerability ups on it, you're going to feel it. So regardless, you should try to do a cooldown. Burgeoning Dread, I didn't really get to read the name fully. But the move that makes you force march, again, not that bad, just set up yourself to where you're going to run, and that's it. The move he did just there, again, easy. Now, this one, I can understand getting people, because it gets me sometimes if I'm not paying attention. This one's also easy to counter. Whichever order they appear in, that's the order they go off. So obviously go to the 3rd one, and then you want to wait here. But sometimes I wait too closely to that center one, and I get hit by that. And then by the time I move, I get hit by the 2nd one. And if I'm in the worst case scenario, I'm like right there in the middle, so I get hit by 3. And I think that's actually enough to kill me. But that rarely happens. Yeah, Might of Malice. I think that's the name I said earlier, but that's definitely the tank buster. That's not even what I meant to do. That was just instincts. I meant to do this. I'm not sure if they had the buff on or not. Also, this is like related to nothing, but I have mentioned it at least once, and I feel I should mention it again just because. But I actually am proud Might need a little help here. I actually am proud of how I do these mechanics at times, because for the most part, I figure them out by myself. Like, I don't look up guides unless it's a mechanic I genuinely cannot figure out. Like I mentioned before, how there's this one critical engagement that involves like eyes, and you, ooh, ah, hold on, I gotta time this. Ooh, that was close. That involves eyes you have to turn away from, and I can't figure it out because it seems like no matter which direction I face, I still get hit. Like, obviously, don't look at the eyes, but it's much harder than it sounds. I can't really explain it without showing it to you, but for those who know what I'm talking about, it's a critical engagement where you need to turn away from the boss and the eyes, and if you don't, you get screwed up. That one I would have to look up to figure out. Oh, I'm a tank, I'll be fine. It's everyone else I'm kind of worried about. So yeah, I could look that one up, but ultimately it's not worth it because it's just a critical engagement. It's not like it's a raid or a dungeon, something as the tank I need to know. Let's see. Cool. So, I wasn't paying attention to his health there, otherwise I would have burned him down. So, yeah, I actually am happy. Like, of course, I'm going to mess up sometimes because this is my own findings, but as a gamer and somewhat veteran player, that is something I take pride in, is these are all my little stratagems. Thought them up myself. And now I'm teaching them to you, and hopefully I'm not teaching you the wrong thing. But of course, you could always watch someone like Mr. Happy, provided of course they cover what you're looking for. Unfortunately, he doesn't cover everything. Most things, but not everything. And as per usual, because I'm not in a party, I'll take care of the ads in here. But I notice we have an awful lot of tanks, so I probably won't have to worry about it. Or more specifically, because we have a lot of tanks, hopefully this part will be done quick. Because it can get pretty hectic if they take too long. I wanted to get all three, but I between the two, I would rather get them with the AoE one, since people typically ignore those. The machinist didn't, though. Here, you deserve a refresh for that. I think the next ones are right around here. Usually people get it done within the first cycle, or surprisingly they actually get it done on this one or slightly late on the last one. Yeah, see? So that was good. I could kind of feel they would get that one done fast by the messages that were popping up. I guess now's a good time to kind of talk about it. So, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, loving it. I don't do PvP on that game, like most games I play, unless they're... Destiny 2 is pretty much the only PvP game I really play. And even then, I only do it for the Iron Banner, which I'm late towards. And I do need to do more tips about that, because my last batch was not good at all. Case in point, the best tip I can give you for the Iron Banner is do not wait to do it. As soon as it pops up, do it, because the longer you take, the more time you give everyone else to do their bounties. Like, if their bounty says, hey, you got to use an auto rifle, hey, you got to use a shotgun, etc., then if they want to do the bounties, and they do, they are forced to use that, right? Okay, that's when you want to do it, because if you give them time to do their bounties, that means they can now use whatever broken shit they want. You don't want to fight them then, because it will, well, you just don't, alright? If you're a glutton for punishment, be my guest. Wait. But if I was you, I would not wait. So you would soon want to do it sooner than later, so they have less time to use their broken stuff. So you're at least on even footing with them. But of course, that all has to do with if they care for the bounties. If they don't care for the bounties, then tough luck. But I guarantee you, most people do, because they want the medals, they want the Iron Banner loot, they're going to be doing their bounties. When is hard to say, but again, logical reasoning says they'll most likely be doing it on the first day, as early as possible. But anywho, back to the matter at hand, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. I love that game. I know a lot of people complain about it, mostly from a PvP perspective, because PvP ruins a lot of things and just about any game is put in. But I still like it for the PvE reasons. I love doing parallel quests, I love doing raids, I love helping people grind out their skills while I get skills of my own. I don't even really like fighting games. The only other fighting game I genuinely like is Smash Brothers. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 is the only other fighting game I like. That's how much I like it. You can do so much hype stuff in that game that you can't in other games. Case in point, I've uploaded some videos of some pretty cool stuff I've done before on Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 that I'm really happy about. And of course, the DLC came out yesterday or today, kind of hard to say. And the new moves are all great. One of my favorites is, crap, what's the name of that move? I honestly can't remember. It's Crusher something, one of Khalifa's moves. I like her more than I like Kale. So I like her movesets more. And even then, as much as I like that move, I used it for like a day, and I still like it a lot. And it's still up there with being one of my favorites. I still like my Burst Kamehameha more. And I actually found, I guess it's me then. I actually did find a move I like more than that. Which is, I can't remember the name of it. Maybe this next raid boss I fight, or when something interesting happens, I'll save a recording and show you. But it's a new move I've had for I don't know how long, but I've never used. And now that I've used it, I like it more than my first Kamehameha. Crap, that was bad. I couldn't see which direction he was going. But it's okay, I have tank privilege, so it's not that big of a deal. I do need to buff up, because he is about to kill me. In fact, let me just do that. Didn't need to, unfortunately, because he was going to piss off, but So now, when I'm almost certainly going to need it later, I won't have it. Oh well. I can bounce back from that. And who knows, maybe that kind-hearted white mage will watch my back. And I won't have to do the entire fight healing myself, which I've had to do before. I saved the recording, but I don't think I uploaded it. I think it was back when I was playing Dark Knight as a different Lalafell, where I had to heal myself throughout the entire fight. Kind of like what I'm doing right now, and I need to move. So, okay, so 1 and 3. I really don't want to, but every bit of healing makes a difference. So more healing means more survivability, which makes me glad that I was able to get this. Alright, that's good. More time to heal. I like how we're also both Lalafells tanking the boss. That's kind of neat. Yep, that's the move I was waiting for. Unfortunately, Nebula wasn't ready, but that's okay. Now you see why I said I love these essences. I believe that's what they're called. That's why I love these essences the most. Because they're so reliable. Being able to heal yourself per hit is incredibly useful, because the faster you hit, the more health you get back. So, very good. Perfect. Yeah, that literally could not be any more perfect. Sweet. Alright, that was pretty smooth. I'm hoping when I do, I call it DR, I can't remember the full name, is it like Del, I'm not going to try. But the other raid, people know what I'm talking about. Hopefully that one will go pretty smooth too, because that one can be either really quick or really slow, depending on if people use essences or not, because all the bosses in there have thick HP. I mean, they are fat. It can be so... It's almost like a battle of attrition, really. Especially when it first came out, and essences and metal boosts weren't a thing. Well, by the way, when I say metal boosts, I guess it's these, really. These things right here. These did not exist. And I take back what I said. I'm fairly certain essences existed. I don't know why I said that. At least I want to say they existed, because again, I can't remember. It's been so long. All I know is they had a lot of health. A lot of health. And the metal boosts, if anything, are what really make the difference. So me feeling that way tells me either... Nah, the essences had to be a thing. I take that back. It's just... Again, most people either didn't use them, because I remember people would shout like, hey, use your essences, things like that. Our DPS is really sucking. Yes, because most people aren't using their essences, that kind of thing. So, obviously, yeah, essences were a thing. It's just, to me, for a split second there, I could not remember, because their HP is so ridiculous. The only exception, ironically enough, is the last boss. I believe she has the lowest HP out of all of them. While the next to last boss, and my personal favorite, Sarcasm, has seemingly the most. But we'll see when we get there. But more than it being a easy ride, I'm hoping that the queue doesn't take forever to pop. Because that one is legitimately duty finder. I guess you can do a party finder with it too if you wanted to, but... Wait, hold on, I think I said that wrong. Hold on, I need to concentrate. Let's see. Crap. Alright, that's fine. Actually, I need to run, because I'm pretty far away. That's something I do despise about that move. Like, I'm trying not to let my emotions get the best of me. It's already kind of happening, in case you couldn't tell. But I despise the Diabolical Gate. Mostly because it's so easy to be killed by. But the last hit is the one I hate the most. Because, get this, I can't do it on purpose right now, because, of course... But if Diabolical Gate, like the last hit was coming, and Diablos is right here, I could not see him. So it's a guaranteed hit. Like, obviously, wherever Diablos is, that's where it's going to go, you know, for the last hit. But there are times where he will be basically invisible. and you will not see that he's there. So you'll be standing right here and just eat the hit. That's happened to me many, many times. I don't think it has gotten me killed, unless last string, then okay, sure. But generally speaking, that doesn't get me killed, because I can survive one hit, and I can survive the last hit provided I didn't get hit at all during the initial attack. So it's not too big of a deal if it hits me on the last hit. It's just annoying that that can happen, because obviously if I have one vulnerability up and he is right on top of me and I don't know that, it's instant death. And that's something else I've learned to especially hate as a tank. My tank mains out there can probably relate to you being a tank. You're naturally hard to kill, right? But then you die to an instant death mechanic for whatever reason, whether the game was cheap or you weren't paying attention or you lagged. I hate that, man, because it's like the game can't kill me legitimately, so it has to do an instant kill attack. I noticed I really didn't get into Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, not the way I wanted to anyway. I was about to say I almost messed that up, but I still did. I didn't get out in time. And yeah, see, that vulnerability up is basically a minute long. Obviously, I knew it was too much to hope for that they would nerf it, but in a way they kind of did. Why was the other one so short? But again, I should take my own advice. Don't question miracles. What I tell you, no one ever goes the ones in the back. So I make it a point to do them. Okay, so back to Dragon Ball. Crap, never mind, back to concentrating. Let me at least make sure I'm at full health, because I do still have a vulnerability up. I think he's right in front of me. Yeah, see? I was able to hear him that time, though. That's what saved me. I could hear him. I don't know if that's usual. I'm going to say it is. So, okay, game. I'm willing to give you a little bit of slack. If you can hear him, you might be able to save your own ass. But it happens so fast, I wouldn't hold my breath. I would just try to hope for the best and prepare for the worst. So anyway, yeah, I should get here. So anyway, I talked about Super Saiyan God before. I main female Saiyan, which I'm kind of proud about. I know they're considered like the worst race to play as in the game for various reasons. I still like them. Like, the only thing that I think would make the female Saiyans literally perfect would be if they had the combo skills. Hold on, make sure I see this right. Yeah, I was kind of really in there, so I couldn't quite tell what direction it was. The only way, I mean, one of the things I think would make the female Saiyans amazing, they're not going to do it because it's obviously too late, would be if they had the combos of the female Earthlings. So the female Earthlings have really fun combos. Very, very fun. And out of all of them, I will say, yeah, female Saiyans have the least satisfying. It's really, really unsatisfying. But despite that, I still like them. So Super Saiyan God female has been the new transformation that I put on mine. I occasionally do switch back to Super Vegeta and Super Vegeta 2, but for the most part, it's Super Saiyan God female. There is a distinction. I don't fully know why, but my guess is because something to do with how. Oh, I hope you have something to eat. That I really do. Okay, good. I think that was home game. Okay. Did they? Oh, they died. I was about to say. But yeah, it's the distinction as far as I can tell. At first I didn't know, but from what I heard, is because Super Saiyan males, or males in general, really, once they go Super Saiyan God, they cannot XY combo, which on PlayStation 5 would be triangle square, I guess. Oh, this is messed up. There we go. I don't even mind losing aggro over that because, again, I prioritize the mechanics. I couldn't trust a random group to actually get them. I'm not sure if this is going to be very bad. Now I got to be basically perfect. I think after he shoots off the first blast, I'll use Nebula just in case, and then Super Bolide. Yeah, Super Bolide time. That's exactly why. Then got hit again. Yep. See, that time it worked. I'm not one of those people who forget they have the invincibility cooldown. I know I do. It's just I manage to mess it up occasionally. Or I activate it and the game's like, nah, you still died. I remember that's happened to me before with Paladin, where I activate Hollow Ground but still took damage. And so the game's like, no, you still got hit. And I really can't afford to get hit again, not with 2 vulnerability ups. But yeah, I heard the Saiyan males cannot XY while using Super Saiyan God, because if they could, then they would be even more of an overpowered race than they already are. Female Saiyans, I honestly don't know. I don't really use cheap tactics. I couldn't even if I wanted to. I don't really know how. But even if I could, wouldn't want to. Because that's just not how I play. I play to have fun, not necessarily to win. Even though winning to me is fun, because I know I'll be fighting cheesers online, I just don't bother. Cool. So that was pretty smooth. I potentially could have died again, but thankfully I was able to save my own ass thanks to Super Bolide. Whew, okay, next is the whatchamacallit, and then after that I will end the stream. Let's see. Now I'll go ahead and say this, even though I hate having to, because I've proved it last stream. If I speak it, it'll happen, but I have to say it anyway. I'm probably going to die in this raid, and I know exactly where it's going to happen. It can happen in one of 3 places, depending on how it goes. The first boss can potentially kill me, either because I'm not paying attention to his order, or he hits me with an instant kill. But those are very rare. Very rare. I say that, now watch it happen like nonstop. But seriously, when I'm doing my own thing, not being recorded, not going to save the recording, none of that. When I'm doing my own thing, it's fine. Don't get killed, really. Alright? The other times I could potentially die, actually there's 4, now I think about it. One is the gunner chest piece. That move can be hard for me to follow at times, and if I'm in a bad spot and don't process what's going on fast enough, I could very easily get hit more than once and then die to that. Then there's Trinity Avowed, the most hated boss in this entire game to me. She is so stupid, and I cannot wait to talk about her when we get there. But her period, basically, is how you can get killed. But her signature thing is that even though the... You know what, let me just queue up so I'm not wasting time. Okay, so even though her signature thing... Or not her signature thing as a whole, like the entire raid is based around instant death. You screw up twice and you die. Regardless, I think... maybe, because I want to say I've seen it happen before. So either I saw it wrong and thinking of a different Doom, or they removed it out of the game. because there's something else about that raid that they've changed. But I want to say if you get doomed, if a healer or whatever is fast enough, they can Asuna it and remove it, or cleanse it, period. They can remove it and you'll be okay. I think. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Either I'm thinking of cleansing slash, or that was legit a thing. But either way, it's incredibly rare for a random healer to do that to you, so don't count on it, even if it can happen. But yeah, even in an entire raid built around instant death mechanics, Trinity Avowed has even worse instant death mechanics, where it can be a single shot, legit instant death, one-shot kill, with her hot and cold mechanic, which she will be doing throughout the entire fight. She also has a tank buster that is a cleave that will one-shot people who are not prepared for it. It can't be reflected though. So if the tank is in a bad spot and they're facing people, people are going to die. But her hot and cold mechanic can get you killed incredibly easily. But the number one thing that will most likely kill you is when she fires her bow and arrow and creates the maze. Because they changed it. They legit changed it. I swear they changed it. Where the first time it happens, there are arrows for every single path the first time she does it, and the second time she does it. Now, there's only 2 arrows per path the first time. They changed that so much so I thought my game was lagging. I was like, oh, the arrows are invisible. Oh, that's kind of not good. And the people that were there with me, they agreed. They were like, yeah, that is weird. Because we didn't know. So I'm absolutely certain they changed that. Why? Because they wanted the most pain in the ass fight in that raid already to be even more of a pain in the ass fight. So yeah, there's that. Then when she has her swords, is also a very easy way to die, because if you're not paying attention, you probably won't even know she's doing it. All you'll know is that you get hit and then you drop dead. But that's nowhere near as bad as the maze. Not even close. So there's that. And technically I could die here too. It only seems to happen when I'm not the main tank. It's like when I'm main tanking, my senses are obviously heightened because I need to be more aware. But if I'm not the main tank, the last boss typically kills me by instant kill mechanic, pushing me into the death zone. That's pretty much it. So those are probably where I'm going to die, but obviously I'm going to try not to die. I'm going to try to not explain every mechanic, because when I'm doing that, obviously my attention is divided, and so chances are I'm going to mess up. If I drop dead, sure, I'll explain whatever's going on, but I'll try to keep the explaining to a minimum. That way I can really focus. It's about to pop, so I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. We just need 3 more people, huh? Okay, never mind. We're going now. Wow, 4 tanks. Oh, we're all different tanks. Okay, now, since this one is mostly just boss rushes, technically the other one was too, but I feel more comfortable using this as opposed to these. Because again, these bosses have so much health, I'd rather do as much damage as possible, so... The music's pretty banging though, not gonna lie. Okay, so I know I said I'm not gonna explain everything, but this move right here, this is a very easy move to die to. Okay, thankfully his pattern is incredibly easy. But with that one, you need to pay attention, like actually look at him and see which swords are glowing. And whichever one is glowing, that's obviously the pattern he's going to go in. But he'll stack it up to 4 times. So, and the pattern isn't always that easy. Thankfully, it was kind of just run around him. But sometimes it can be go forward, then go behind him, then go forward to his right, then go behind him again. It can be really wonky. Oh. This one isn't an instant kill mechanic, but when he brings up the big swords, he does have one, and it's usually either knocking you into that field, or, yeah, this one specifically is an instant kill. You actually need to get behind it. I love how I'm, like, going back on my word already. The other version, the one that has pulsing arrows, you need to get in front of it, because it's going to knock you backwards. So obviously, if you get behind the barricade, it'll knock you backwards into that kill ring. So, I'm lined up. I'd rather get as close to the middle as possible, because you do kind of go at an angle. So I don't want to be like right here and then get shot into there. That's just room-wide damage. I don't know if it's physical or magical, but I'm going to assume physical because he just like stomps the ground. But yeah, the worst one definitely is his is his katana phase for the mercy moves, because again, they're very easy to get killed by. That was me just not paying attention. That's a stacking marker, but I didn't hear it, let alone see it, so that was just me not paying attention. This one, you want to stand on the opposite of what he's standing on. He was standing on sand, so you want to stand on tile. Now he's standing on tile, so you want to stand on sand. Most people would say get in front of him, and that is technically true. But I feel, you know, what if you're like way back here? It'd be easier just to say stand on the opposite of what he's standing on. But of course that requires you being able to see. So, and yeah, that's one of the main downsides of being a Lalafell. It is hard to see where exactly you are. I've been playing as one for so long that I'm more or less used to it. But when I was playing as my Aura, it was no issue at all. I knew exactly where I was at all times. As a Lalafell, unless I'm out in the open like this, I kind of just have to feel for where I am, or do that. And yeah, unfortunately he's doing one of the wonkier combos, so gotta focus. See what I mean? This is also a pretty bad one. I'm gonna stand here. There's an eyeball that I was turning away from. I don't know where it was, but I knew it wasn't by me, so I had to turn away. Then you have to run out of that. In addition to those, I don't even know how to really explain it. The pattern he put on the ground. You obviously can't stand in that either, because if you do, that was the wrong person. Because if you do, you're gonna get that vulnerability, not the vulnerability. I think it's called Ruin knocks twice, something like that. Where if you get that debuff twice, you immediately die. And so you gotta avoid the pattern on the floor. I missed that again. You have to avoid the pattern on the floor. You have to avoid the eye, because even though that itself, I believe, doesn't give you the debuff, it does paralyze you wherever you are. So, chances are you're going to get hit by a mechanic that will give you that debuff. So let's say, for example, you avoid the first pattern, then you get paralyzed. Well, not paralyzed, I say that, but there's a legit paralyzed mechanic, so I should be more specific. It's more like a freeze, like you just stop moving. So let's say that happens. You get hit by the blooming AoE on the ground, and you get hit by the pattern. I can't explain the shape. Like, I know the shape in my head, but I can't get it out. It kind of reminds you of a honeycomb, but not exactly. You know, like honey wheat cereal? That's kind of like what the pattern reminds me of. Okay, what's he doing? Also, you can go out immediately once it goes off, and you'll be safe, like that. Oh, it's actually a little slow. Don't want to be too fast. Obviously, you will run into it, but basically, once the timer or cast goes away, you're free to go out there. This one, he's just going to bind us to someone randomly, and you just want to get away from them. I say, man, I'm a tank. I can survive this. I think I know what happened there, because he was pretty far away, but the tether didn't break. I think because we were already far away, that made the tether harder to break. I know that's a legitimate thing in the vault dungeon against the last boss, where the farther away you are, the harder it is to break the chain, so maybe that's what happened to us. Hard to say. Because at first I thought they just weren't doing the mechanic, because that is a thing. People will straight up ignore it. But, yeah, I think because we were far away, it didn't trigger. So what happens here is I typically like what I like to call the Minesweeper to go first. But yeah, but occasionally that becomes a rare and rarer sight to where there have been legit times where no one does it. So regardless, I let other people go first because there are two types of traps. There's the poison trap, like that one, and then there's the bomb traps, like those. And the reason why the traps suck is because if you touch a poison one, you get poisoned. You and everyone near you. Typically not that bad. What is bad is if you touch an explosive one, or worse, you don't touch it, but you're close enough to the fool who did, you both bite the dust. So, I typically let the Minesweeper go first. And if there is no Minesweeper, then I let like 15 people go first. Then I go. And then just try to follow whoever doesn't explode. Oh, here's a fun little trick. Let me see if I can do it right. Yep, did it. That's always fun to do. You can not technically resist the knockback, but you can counter it super fast if you time it just right. And the best way I can say to do that timing, again, this is why I said this is one of the few things in life I can say I'm proud of, as sad as that is. Just from experimentation and practice, I've learned these things on my own. But the best timing I can give for that is right as the screen flashes red from his roar. That's when you want to close the distance. Now this one, he's going to try to knock us back into one of these pets. I try to go to a side that doesn't have any. So right about here. Let's see if I can do it again. Yeah, see? Cool. Also, one of every tank, I think, might be either the first time or very rare, because I honestly can't remember the last time this has happened. Because, you know, people are going to typically either be Dark Knight or Gunbreaker, but here's another one. When he does that dash, you don't want to be in front of him, because you will get hit, kind of like I'm about to. So I try to go where he's going to go, and then just get out of the way, so then I can do this. I was hoping our gunner there would make it, because they were trucking. And good, he knows to bring the boss back to the center. That's important because these things spawn and the rocks start to fall. So good, Taz knows what he's doing, as I expected. Oh, another way to tell when there are traps is to watch Makoto, but as useful as a trick as that is not something you can rely on completely, because she doesn't just like end the fight and then immediately she'll activate Levitate, which protects her from all the traps. She doesn't always do that. Matter of fact, I don't know why I said she doesn't always. She never does that. She usually does it later, and by the time she does it, you've already figured out there are traps nearby. So, though technically, yeah, a useful little trick, it ultimately isn't if you have like this many people already running ahead of you. Because by then, either there are no traps, or most of them have already been triggered. Or are about to be, by you. So. Hey Niche, you're kinda just in time. Hold on, gotta make sure my tank here doesn't die. Too late. I guess they just don't use cooldowns. See, that's my fault. I wasn't paying attention because I saw someone had joined my chat and I wanted to talk to him. I'm not saying it's your fault, obviously, but it did distract me because I was going to try to use the limit break, because almost no one does the limit break there, even though they realistically should. Most people don't. And so I was going to use it as a tank to give our tanks... I think right here is fine. Actually, no, I need to be like right there. Yeah. To give our tanks, you know, the buff so they survive. Because another thing a lot of people like to do, tank or otherwise, is when you go in there with aggro, you aggro everything. So if no one gets it off of you, you got 4 bosses beating on you at the same time. Hold on, I gotta focus. No, this is bad. Okay, good. That's why I said I hate the gunner. That's usually the one I mess up on. Shot in the dark, that's the tank buster. I'll give the aggro back to Taz after this. Actually, maybe I'll do it anyway. I was gonna say I was gonna wait till their weakness wore off, but I respect their courage for running in there blindly. Guess Taz doesn't want it. Alright, I'll tank all of them then. Until they actually take it from me, I guess I'll just keep it. Come on, you bastard. But yeah, Niche, how you been? This is also one I could potentially mess up on. Oh, that's a tank buster. This is another one I could potentially mess up on because his clones can be really easy to lose track of, especially if I'm the main tank. Like I said, my senses are usually heightened when I'm the main tank, but there's some compromises I do have to make. Like, I'm going to watch this one as best I can. Yeah, so I believe it's this one. Oh, okay, cool. Even better. Didn't have to worry about it. Gotta warn you. Tank buster. That's also something I typically do when we come here, is I notice people mess that mechanic up a lot. So I've made it kind of just part of when I play to always tell them out or in or out, whenever that happens. It's also important to know because the last boss uses the main mechanics of all these bosses here, including the in and out sword and shield one. So I kind of also have it ready for when that happens. That's good. I'm glad you've been alright. You probably just got here, so you might have missed my talk earlier about the new-ish dog that my mom has. That being the case, you're going to be in for a surprise later. I can promise you that. Give him a little bit more. Okay, he's basically dead. Yeah, that was weird. So, with that one, that mechanic is kind of obvious. With the big one, with the big bomb, you stand by it. When he reverses the polarity, or whatever the name of that move is, you want to go for the small bomb. You'll know because he'll tether it. So whenever he tethers the bombs, go for the small one. That's pretty much the main thing. Or her, actually. That thing, I believe, used to be female. Crap. Yeah. I saw it right at the last second. Hence why I try not to explain everything anymore. That mechanic is also very easy to do, but if you're like me and not paying attention, you can easily kill yourself as well. You just simply hit where there is no shield. That's all. But of course, if you do like I did, you could very easily hit the shield twice and just kill yourself. Thankfully, that didn't kill me, because that would have been super embarrassing. Because I was going over the numerous ways to die in this raid, and I didn't mention that one. Not because I forgot, it's because it never happens. So that would have been embarrassing. I'm going to assume it's safe because we got this close, and yeah, Makoto didn't levitate. Alright, Taz, it's on you. So, a little fun trick to do with this boss that now this one I will admit, I didn't learn this or figure it out. I actually saw people do this, and I was like, oh, okay, that is actually a good idea. So when he's doing the miasma, you're supposed to get in the circle, but for the very first one, and the first one only, you can actually get here. Because the circle always explodes first. It's going to pulse twice, then you step, I need to mark myself, make sure I don't lose track. It's going to pulse twice, you step out, that goes off, and now you can just damage the boss normally, without having to worry about it. But it only works that first time. After that, he's going to cover the entire field, and you have to do the mechanic right after that. But the reason why that's so important is because it gives you, I mean, look how much DPS we got out for not having to do that mechanic. But yeah, see, now we have to do it right. So my little trick, again, I'm going to have to mark myself. Normally I can see, or like I said, feel for where I am. But since I'm talking, I don't want to mess it up. What I do is, once the first wave goes off, I run about midway into the dark, midway into the dark, midway into the dark, mid-dark, mid-dark. Don't step any closer, because I believe if you step there, it'll kill you. Then once all that's over with, just go somewhere else. When he summons a ghost, you want to be right by the ghost, so if it's way over there, we need to run. Thankfully, it's already on this side, so we don't need to worry about it. It's just going to push us. This is only an issue when he makes the miasma. You want to get pushed into the circular miasma, not the square. And he might get to do that, because he... No, maybe he won't, because he's basically 10% health now, so he probably won't... Nah, he won't get to do it. He definitely won't. And dead. Okay, so, Trinity Avowed, my least favorite boss in the game. I can't even put into words how much I hate them. I really, really can't. Like I said, the whole raid is full of instant death. I don't know why they waited till after someone blew up, but the whole raid is full of instant death. Basically. She has instant death on top of instant death. Literally. The hot and cold mechanic is genuinely worse, objectively worse, than the ruin comes twice or ruin knocks twice or whatever the heck it is, because all you need is that debuff and to mess it up. That's all it takes. While the ruin one, you have to mess up at least twice. Hot and cold, you only have to mess up once. So we'll see how bad this goes. I'm confident Taz will be okay. I will even be okay. The only part that'll mess me up is the arrow, because it happens so fast and it's so easily to miss. You'll see once we get there. That's that huge cone I was telling you about that can be reflected, but does massive damage if you don't, especially if you're not a tank. So that field, I believe if you touch it, you instantly die. Just assume any field around the arena here, you're going to die instantly, so don't touch it. That one is obviously point blank. The next one, I believe, is her hot and cold mechanic. She kind of has a pattern. I'm not sure if it's a pattern throughout the fight, but in the beginning, there's definitely a pattern. So, okay, I got 1 degree of fire. That's not the official name, I wasn't paying attention, but it's 1 fire. That's the short abbreviation of it for me. So since I got 1 fire, I need to counter it with 1 ice, which is this one. If I go to 2 ice, it will override the fire and give me 1 ice, which is bad, because then when the hot and cold mechanic falls off, I will be too cold, and I'll die from the cold. Instant death. Same thing if I have heat left. I overheat and die. So you have to do the mechanic, and you have to do it right. There is no way around it. And as if she's not a big enough bitch enough as already, get this. If you revive into a hot and cold mechanic, you will still die. That's how fucked up she is as a boss. I hate this boss so much. Technically it's they, and funnily enough, in Circus Tower, people have mentioned the dog boss clearly being female because she has boobs. Well, if you thought that was crazy, get a load of this. This monstrosity, probably can't see it, just barely, has boobs for faces. So I got 1 fire. So I need to be... Okay, that one looked like a straight line. It'd be really hard to tell. Nope, juke me out. But I was fast enough. That's why I didn't go too far in one direction. Because it looked like it stopped here, but it didn't. See how much I hate that? And if I messed that up, I'd be dead right now. Oh, I hate that mechanic so much. But that's typically how she kills me. The other way could be if I miss Sight Unseen, I think is another one, that's the name of the move, where she summons clones of herself to dash through the room. Those also give you the ruin debuff. And if you get hit by 2, obviously instant death. But the reason why I'm bad with that one is because the sound effect for it is very subdued, and even more so with my headset on, so I can't really hear it all that well. Let me go ahead and talk about that before I forget that too. That's another bitch move that they have. Basically the rule of thumb with this fight is to be close at all times, even if you're a ranged character. Hold on, I gotta focus for a second. Fire, so I need to be on this side. But yeah, see, they failed that mechanic, so they died instantly. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now, funnily enough, you can save yourself if you, like, mess this up. Because I did it once, and it literally happened once. So say, for example, if I accidentally got hit by that ice attack right there, I would have 1 ice. Her next one is always going to be 1 fire. So if that had happened, all I have to do is stand in that. I could have saved myself. I could even show that off if I wanted to. I don't, because if I did, something would go wrong. I guarantee it. But, little fun fact, that is a way you could save yourself if that specific instance happens. Okay, see, I was talking and I barely heard the noise. The only thing that gave it away was that I saw them. Okay, there's the big oof attack. I think that covers pretty much all she has. I don't think she has any more surprises. Well, that's half true. Everyone's favorite attack, the bow and arrow, the maze, there's going to be more arrows now. but in a way that kind of helps. Kind of. I mean, not really, because ultimately you still need to get the one arrow. But I don't know. I have an easier time doing the second one than I do the first one. Let me see what she used. Okay. So I got one ice. That means I'm going to need one fire. Now this mechanic I have also nearly messed up before because I didn't react in time. Like, say for example, I need this one, but I'm way over there looking around for the one I need. I almost missed it. I think that's happened twice. Speaking of almost missing things, let's see. Yeah, here's safe. Yeah, see, that's a good example. Well, kind of. I didn't fail it, but if I was a deep range DPS and for whatever reason I wasn't taking my own advice and I was standing like here, I would have just had to eat that attack. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. And if I already had one ruin buff, it would be instant death. I hate this boss so much. I cannot stress it. I cannot stress it enough. I'll try not to, you know, complain your ear off about it, but I cannot put into words how just unfair this boss is in a lot of ways. Like, the hot and cold mechanic is already bad enough, but that move specifically is also really, really sucky. Okay, gotta concentrate. Give me a second. Because, as I just demonstrated, this is very easy to mess up. Okay, I think I know where it's going. Yep. I call that one Super Fire, since it was a stack of 2 instead of 1. So, Super Fire arrows, Super Ice arrows, regular fire arrows, regular ice arrows. Yeah, unfortunately he didn't make it. And I don't blame him for that, because again, that mechanic is... Oh, also, as far as I know, I don't think I've been proven wrong about this, but as far as I know, there are no traps past this area, so you're free to just sprint. I'm waiting to see who's going to pull. Hopefully no one on our team. Or at least they'll walk forward a bit. I'm guessing... Yeah, we definitely have someone new because there was that barrier, so someone must be in a cutscene. I have the chat turned off, so might as well bring that up because I'm going to need it in a little bit. Also, just as a reminder, I don't want to say it now, because again, if I do, it's going to happen. But all I'm going to say is, clear stream. If I forget what I'm talking about, remind me, clear stream, and I'll bring it up. Ah, that was one of ours. That or I wasn't fast enough. Okay, I guess it's me. That's fine. I can tank her just fine. It's only really bad if, when she's doing the gunner mechanic. That or if no one cleanses cleansing strike, because people still don't know that I need that cleansed. Yeah, I thought so. Okay, for this one, I like to judge it based on what's moving. Since that one's moving 2 spaces and this one's moving 1, I'm going to stay here, because it's the safest spot. Well, safest spot to still do damage, I should say. Alright, this one's also a pretty easy mechanic. Let me see. You just want to go this way. Now this is what usually kills me, because it's so quiet, and if I'm not paying attention I miss it. But since I'm the main tank and I'm ready for it, you want to get close to this, because it's going to push pretty far. See? Yeah, this is like the polar opposite of my last stream, huh? People actually being kind and helpful. Let's see, you're moving 3, so 1, 2, 3. That should be past me, but just in case I'm wrong, I'm going to go ahead and stand here. Yeah, I would have been safe. This one's obvious, just whatever side has the blades on it, don't be there. Makoto's fine, she can just Ultra Instinct dodge anything, so she's always fine. Also, funnily enough, I wasn't sure about this, but I've actually watched it and seen it happen. Occasionally, Makoto will actually heal people, the actual players. I think that's really neat. It's a small touch, but I still think it's cool. Oh, and the reason why the gunner one itself is especially dangerous, is she's about to do it, is because, like I said, I find it hard to... Actually, no, it's not. This is something else. This mechanic, a lot of people don't realize this, and I honestly cannot blame them too much. But what you want to do is, however many dots are above your head, that's how many you want to move. So I got 3, so 1, 2, 3. Oh, there we go. The first spot doesn't count, so... Trust me, if you do it wrong, the game will let you know. I think you can actually... I think it gives you multiple chances before she counts down. Because there's been times where I've done it wrong and the dots appeared on my head again. So, I believe you have time to do it right. I'm saying thanks because I don't think that's my healer doing that. I'm pretty sure I'm seeing a light blue, which means it's one of the random people. Yeah, like that. That wasn't my healer. Okay, so let me concentrate for a moment. But yeah, this is so bad is because when she does her next version of that edict, it's very easy to die, so no, that's a bad spot. Okay, good. I've kind of got the timing down. Oh, hold on, she's going to blast us, so I want to stand right here. I've kind of got the timing down to where even after it fires, if I'm not in the spot I want to be in, I can still salvage it. Because the hitbox is immediate. So as soon as it goes off and I step into that hitbox, it doesn't count because it was immediate. I can't really explain it too well, but hopefully when I did it, you understand. So that's kind of how I get around it if I'm in a bad spot, but typically I try to see where they are and just not be there, period. Okay, so with this version, what I like to do is I go to the knight that, well, let's see what I get, and hopefully I can explain it fast enough. Okay, I have 3, he has 1. So what I want to do is go here, he's going to move forward 1, I'm moving forward 3, that was going down 2. So no matter what, I shouldn't be in their line of fire. So 1, 2, 3, he's moving down 2, so he won't even be facing me, and that one's only moving forward 1. That's the best way for me to deal with that mechanic. Also, don't worry about trying to do your big damage during it, because as you just saw the first time and then, you will get stunned. So you're better off. Yep, see? Random healer. So you're better off just saving it for afterwards. Don't try to do it then. This version of Relentless Play is actually very easy. Well, provided, of course, you're paying attention. So let's see. Whichever one is the copy is where I, well, real, I should say. Okay, so basically come over here. Now this is a good thing and a bad thing, because the knight will either do sword or shield, and depending on that, depends on what I need to do next. Plus she's going to dash through the arena after this. So let's see. Okay, good, so we don't even have to move. And it's going to be out. Oh, my healer's dead. That's not good. Let's see. 2 bars are going, yeah, this way. Okay, you're moving 1, so we definitely need to be up at least 2. And you're moving only 2, so right here should be fine. Alright, man, that was pretty smooth. Besides that one instance in the castrum, that was pretty smooth. Much better than the last stream. Infinitely better than the last. Okay, so closing points. 2 things I want to say. I actually do remember. Clear stream. I'm only saying this now because I promise you, if I said it anywhere else, it would have instantly failed. For the first time I'm streaming, I can actually see. I don't know if Google has changed, because I honestly thought my phone company was sabotaging my phone because they're like, hey, you need to upgrade, so we're going to make your stream shit. I don't know. But whatever it is, I guess it's fixed. Hopefully for good. Because now I can see what I'm streaming. It's not just a bunch of garbled nonsense. So that's also good. The second thing I wanted to say was, now I'm going to, not now, but probably next week, I'm going to stream Destiny 2 again, and we're going to stream Forsaken again, because 1, I have a new hunter, and 2, from what I've heard, unless they change their mind, I doubt it, Forsaken, being the best DLC we've ever gotten, hands down, is going to get removed, is going away for good at some point in the future. So as a final hurrah to Forsaken, I'm going to stream it again. I don't know when, but I'm gonna. So now I'm just going to turn in some stuff. Excuse me. Then I'll end the stream. Something I do want to kind of point out, ironically, it's not this Lalafell, but it's the last one I had, was incredibly lucky. Like, stupid lucky. I doubt this one will be as such, though. I was trying to remember what I was doing. So I want to check her first to get some lockboxes. Because thankfully I have all the field notes. As Niche well knows. I love this mount so much. Like I said, I like how the little feet go up because of how fast I'm going. Struggling to hang on. That's awesome. So yeah, let's see if I get anything good. I just remember this is going to eat up... Oh, that was actually good. That die. I do actually occasionally use that die. If you're really lucky, you might even get jet black dies from this. That's happened to me, I think, at least twice. I think that sells good, too. Not, like, nowhere near as good as jet black dye, obviously. Nothing quite does. But still, I don't plan to use it, so might as well sell it. Oh, cool. Lost Shell 2 and Lost Protect 2 are also surprisingly rare, so it's always nice to get those. I have so many bubbles. To be fair, bubble is also good, because as I've unfortunately demonstrated in my last stream with the Diabolical Gate, I absolutely can survive 2 Diabolical Gates hits with bubble. Absolutely cannot without it, so it is useful. It's just not as useful to me as Shell or Bravery. To be fair, Bravery is probably not all that useful either unless you give it to like everybody. Like your entire party just has Bravery on. But what do I know? So, stream went much better. Thanks, Niche, for dropping by. Glad to have you. I'm still going to do Final Fantasy Remake, of course. Just still taking a break from it. I just got to be in the mood to play it. It's not as like it's a bad game. It's just once you've done it once, yeah. Plus, I'm doing hard mode, and that kind of kills the enthusiasm unless I do something super epic, like what I did against Roche or Reno, and I think even Rude. But anyway, thanks for dropping by, and I'll see you around.